Salvete discipuli, this is help for your first year Henle Latin Studies, exercise 51. In this exercise, we've been given some new vocabulary words, and we're still in the third declension, working on understanding the rules and exceptions that are involved with the third declension. So in exercise 51, we're asked to do a few things. If you're working with Latin Workspace A for classical conversations, I think there's really just space in the workbook for the translation. But it is helpful to work through all of these things if you have time. So it wants us to tell what case the nouns are, translate the phrase, and then give the nominative and genitive singular and their gender, and give the genitive plural. Reason being is the nominative singular and genitive singular and gender, it takes a little bit of work to discern what is the gender of a third declension noun. So listing out the nominative singular and genitive singular is a tool that helps with that. And the other thing is the genitive plural ending may differ based on a couple of rules. The genitive plural endings may be or eum, depending on these rules. And the rule, for the most part, we're going to see but there are some nouns that would get that I stem, eum, and those are nouns that have a equal syllable count in the nominative singular and genitive singular, so, such as hostis, hostis. And it's also, this would also include nouns whose stem ends with two consonants, such as gentis. Okay, the genitive singular ending is is in the third declension, and so the stem is gent and nt, two consonants. Same with partis. If I drop the genitive singular ending is, my stem is part, P-A-R-T, R-T, are two consonants together. So that's why we would decline that word according to number 58, and the only difference there being the genitive plural. Okay. So there's just a mix of those scenarios in this particular exercise. So it just causes us to slow down and focus and discern all of those things. All right, so let's take a look at number 1. We have propter virtutem militum. Propter virtutem militum. I should have probably practiced that before I hit record. All right, so propter is a preposition. We know that. And then we've got two nouns. We want to figure out what case the nouns are. So virtutem has that em ending. It's a third declension noun. Virtus, virtutis. And the em ending tells me it is accusative singular, meaning courage or virtue. And then militum has that um ending, and that is found here. It's also a third declension. Miles, militis is also a third declension noun, and so the ending is a genitive plural. So there, we have done the first step, tell what case the nouns are. Now to translate that would be on account of is the translation for propter. The courage as an accusative noun, we just have the courage. And then genitive, plural, that's going to show possession. So where we would write of the, and then pluralize the noun, which is soldier, soldiers. Okay, so we translated that on account of the courage of the soldiers. There's the translation. Now it says, let's give their nominative and genitive singular and their gender. Okay, so The nominative genitive form of virtutem is virtus, virtutis. And we need to know the gender, okay? Well, courage and virtue are not an obvious masculine or feminine gender by itself, and so we're going to look at the Sachs rule. If it ends with S, O, or X, then it is a feminine noun. Okay, and then the nominative and singular, the nominative and genitive singular of militum is miles, militis. It means soldier, and in Roman times, that would be an obvious masculine role. So that's going to be a masculine noun. So natural gender wins, and then if it's not obvious, such as virtus, then we would go to our rules of the endings there. Okay, and then finally, give the genitive plural of all italicized words. So those are the ones that will take a little bit of thought. In this case, we don't have any italicized words for number 1, so we are done with that one. Let's do one more. Number 2, pax populorum et gentium. Okay, pax populorum et gentium. All right, pax, populorum, and gentium are all 3 nouns. Et is a conjunction, and this particular noun, pax, is in the nominative singular. Populorum, populus, populi is a second declension masculine noun, and so this ending orum is found as a genitive plural. When we know our endings well, we can just pick that up. And then gentium, we have gens, gentis is a third declension noun, and this eum ending is also genitive plural according to our charts. Okay, so we have 2 nouns showing possession linked together with a coordinating conjunction. So we only need to really translate of the one time. All right, so to translate this, our subject noun is pax, which means peace. And then our genitive nouns need that to show that possession with the words of the what? Of the people and the gens, gentis, I have to peek back here, tribe. And the tribes. Peace of the people and the tribes. Okay, so we have translated it, and there was asking us to do a couple more things here. Let's see, 51. Give the nominative and genitive singular and their gender. All right, so pax is the nominative singular, and then it's pakis. Pakis. I think we got this back here. Pax, pakis is the genitive singular. Populus, populi. And then we have gens, gentis, are our nominative and genitive singular forms of those nouns. And then we want to give their gender. Okay, so we need to figure this out. Well, populus, populi is a second declension masculine noun. And gens, gentis, the tribes. We don't know, it's not a natural gender rule that we're applying here, so we need to look to our ending, which is of our nominative singular, which is S, which makes it feminine, S-O-X, the socks rule. And then the same thing applies for pax and pacis. It's peace is not a natural gender, it's not an obvious gender. So we look to the ending of the nominative singular, which is X, which also fits within the S-O-X, socks rule, which makes it feminine. Okay, so we've done the gender, check. And then finally, give the genitive plural of all italicized words. And in this particular exercise, there are no italicized words, so we are finished. I hope this has been helpful for you. Have a great day.